This next one I'm going to give you, I haven't done it for a while, but it is one of my favorites. And I can tell by looking at everybody in this wonderful audience seated here before me that every one of you undoubtedly has heard of this author's name. It's unanimous as Brother Anonymous. Anybody heard of him? They estimate that this poem was written probably in about the mid-1880s. And it is a gunslinger verse, and it is very well written. And it's about two gunfighters, each having something the other wanted. And it's entitled The Silver Bells and the Golden Spurs. Anybody heard? It's a great verse. 'Twas a mining town called Golden Gulch, while the West was yet untamed. And there, two bad men met and made a bet. And the winnings never claimed. The boys had ridden into town one payday afternoon to line the bar at the Lucky Star, which was Dandy Ram's saloon. Now a dandy? Oh, he's an ornery cuss, if by chance he made him sore. And his only law was his lightning draw of the heavy guns he wore. On his watch chain hung a dozen bells of the finest silver spun, each tiny bell for a man that fell when the dandy drew his gun. And they seemed to jingle ringly to a tune that brought him luck. But they rang the bell for each man that fell when the dandy rang them up. Well, the boys had finished a round of drinks. Yeah. When the old saloon door swang wide. When a man walked in with a reckless grin and a funny cat-like stride. On his dusty boots were golden spurs, and his face was lean and brown. And on each hip, the well-matched grips, a 6 guns holstered down. And he spoke in a voice that was deadly quiet and said, "I've come to waste some shells on a man they say his draw is quick, with a chain of silver bells. A dozen bells for a dozen men, buried somewhere on the plain. And it's my intent to beat that you. I've come for the dandy's chain." Well, the dandy faced the stranger's gaze, and his coat was buttoned tight, and a gun swung free above each knee. But the bells were hid from sight. So, it's a dandy silver bells on which your heart is set. Say, well, that's a fancy pair of spurs you wear. Do you care to make a bet? The silver bells for the golden spurs. Yeah, but I'll warn you from the start. You'll make that bet, and all you'll get is a bullet through the heart. Well, stranger smiled his reckless grin and said, "Yeah, and if the dandy tries, they'll find him dead with a chunk of lead placed neat between the eyes." Then the stranger unbuckled his golden spurs. And he slid him along the bar and said, "I'm calling the hand of Dandy Ran. Come out wherever you are." And slowly, the dandy's hand reached down and unbuttoned his lapel. And there at rest, on checkered vest, the chain of silver bells. The stranger watched with narrowed eyes. The time had passed for talk. He hadn't drawed, but his hands were clawed, like the feet of a diving hawk. Then suddenly, the dandy's hand reached down to grab for his right-hand gun. And nobody saw the stranger draw, but 2 shots rang out as one. And the dandy stumbled to his knees with a look of wild surprise. With a chunk of lead, like the stranger said, placed neat between the eyes. Oh, and the stranger, he stood at the end of the bar, and apparently unhurt. Except for a spot of red that slowly spread beneath the left pocket of his shirt. The Golden Gulch, it's a ghost town now. Its mining days are done. And there's coyote tracks and the tumbled shacks, bleached white by the desert sun. And the Lucky Star, it's deserted too, all littered with sand and straw. The laughter rang and the dandy's gang went strength to its lightning draw. And the silver bells and the golden spurs still hang their place of fame above the bar at the Lucky Star, still waiting the victor's claim. Thank you.